Hey, are you familiar with the Remix IDE, a popular online development framework for Ethereum smart contracts? This tutorial will guide you through the basic steps of creating, compiling, deploying, and interacting with smart contracts using Remix. So let's get started. So the first thing you need to do is to go to the Remix IDE, which is located at remix.ethereum.org. Now we have Remix on my screen, so I'm just going to walk you through. We have this icon known as File Explorer. So this is where your files exist, be it a JavaScript file or a Solidity file or a Viper file or whichever file that you may be working on. So this is usually where you find the files. And then we also have this search icon in case you have any file you want to search for in your system. And then we have this Solidity compiler icon. So this is where you compile your smart contracts that have been written. So you can auto compile or not. I usually like to auto compile because it makes it easier to spot out bugs when developing smart contracts. The next icon is the deploy and run transactions icon. So this is where you deploy smart contracts and interact with them on the Remix IDE. As you can see, it provides you with different wallets. There are about 15 if I'm not mistaken, which you can be able to carry out transactions and execute all manner of tests. So right away, I'm going to help you create your first smart contract using Remix. I'm going to go over to this File Explorer and then I'm going to create my file. So as you can see here, I have this icon, create new file. I'm just going to click on it. So I'm just going to write my file as the name, and it's a Solidity file, so it has to carry the suffix .sol. So .sol represents file that contains Solidity code. The first thing I need to add in my file is the license of the smart contract I'm writing. So for now, I'm just going to use MIT, and that's what this first line represents. And next, I need to define the Pragma version. So I'm just going to go ahead and write Pragma Solidity and then give it the version. So for now, I can just say 0.8.0. So what this means is I'll be able to compile the smart contract using compiler versions from 0.8 and above. And then the next thing, I'm going to define my contract. So I'm just going to say hello world, which is the name of my contract. Smart contract variable. So I'm going to define a string type. I'm going to make it public so that it can be read outside the blockchain, and then I'm going to name it. So as you can see, I haven't assigned any value to this message. So I'm just going to do that now by defining a constructor, which is how we do the contract. And in this constructor, I'm just going to give the message we defined earlier. And the value is going to be hello world. And then a public function. I'm just going to name it set message. So we're supposed to be able to use this function to update the message. Okay. I'm going to call that new message. Then it's going to be a public. And in this function, I'm going to reassign the value of message. I'm going to have it become the new message we're passing into it. And there you have it. We have our smart contract. As you can see, successful. It means that this particular code has been compiled by Remix, and it passes the compilation test. So if say put something that's not supposed to be, as you can see, it's going to error because the bug in it. So in order to remove this error, I'm just going to make sure that my and follows the right format. So yeah, it compiled. So now that I'll go ahead to deploy the smart contract that we've just created on Remix. Of course, this is going to be deployment, so you don't need to worry about its implications on a public network. So as you can see, I have the file that we're deploying in my file is hello world. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on hello world. So as you can see, Remix offers you this local blockchain environment. That shows you everything that transaction. As you can see, the transaction hash of the transaction wallet address I just deployed this smart contract. So this is a smart contract that I deployed over here. From this code, as you can see, there are two methods that are available. The first one is message, which is a public variable that you can read. So for public variables or read variables rather, they all come in this blue color, and the variables that come color are variables that are. So this is how Remix arranges it. As you can see, we have contract on this local blockchain that Remix provides. It also gives us the gas requirement, as well as execution cost, input parameter, and whatnot. So we have all the information we need, and also we can also interact with the smart law. For instance, if I click on message, remember we assigned hello world to message, so it's just going to show us here hello world, and then we have hello world as the message. But the good thing is that we have an external function that can enable us modify this message variable value and assign a new value to assign a new value by calling the set message function. And I'm just going to say inside e. Yeah. So it's going to have to be a string, so I'm just going to put this semicolon, make it a string, and then I go ahead to execute. As you can see, the function has and this information from the function address I called smart contract, and I called the message of set message, and then of course it takes in a string type input parameter. This is just information about the smart contract, which you can see and query here on the Remix blockchain. On the Remix transaction, we can now check what the value of message is, and you see it changes to welcome to inside the app. So you've just had, it enables you to compile, create, deploy, and interact with your smart contracts. And today we've just deployed our first smart contract. So if you like this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel if you want to get more, and share the video as well. Let me know in this comment section, Remix, and how you feel about the first smart contract that we have just developed. See you some other time. Bye bye.